Oh, friggin' rights, boys. Friggin' in the shop today. Change the blade on the saw here for a minute. And I'll show you what we're getting into. Beg my pardon. So onwards, this is what we're dealing with. I'm gonna build a friggin' Inwood custom friggin' press brake, beg my pardon. So I got some pretty dirty thick angles, eh? Got some dirty thick angles. I found a piece of H, so both these pieces are 4 foot long, but I only got friggin' 32 inches between the cigarette butts on my friggin' my brake over, or my press over there. So yeah, and then I found this big dirty piece of 1 inch thick friggin' son of a bitch, so I'm going to cut it into like 4 hunks, because in accordance to, then I can use, you know, 2 of them to push it out, have sideward, eachward, or whatever, right? Sort of like this here or whatever, you know, like I got 2 pieces of friggin' 1/2 inch and then a piece of 1 inch, and you know, I could cobble up a couple different operations with this, but if I have four slabs going across there, because you want as much support across the bottom, like a, you know, I got 15 inches across here by 32, so if I could find a piece of like 1 inch or 1.5 inch, you know, plate, and maybe have a hole machined into the center of it with little insert guys or whatever for different size applications, that would be ideal, but mine don't got that kind, maybe someday. Alright, mid-project here I come up with plan L, so I do beg my pardon. I cut that friggin' 1/2 inch piece, and I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking, with the heavy dutiness of the rest of this, like I was just going to cut this into 4, right? Except for on accordance with, yeah, like, I mean, that's 1 inch, and if I get that cut at the machine shop to a 60-degree angle along this edge, and then I use that for friggamasacner, right? And that'll be more awesomer, I figure. So I do beg my pardon. But I'm just going to put the same procedure on this one that I did the other one, and friggin' accordance the ends off 1 and 1 in accordance to the holes, right? So I'm going to keep the ones with the holes for you know, my crosswords on the press type situation, and then we'll get this piece in the middle cut at the machine shop on the hangulations that we need. And then we'll go to pig iron and we'll get some little weld on end antlers, and we'll get some friggin' dirty old tractor axle out of the friggin' shipping container, and then we'll cheech. Beg my pardon. Yeah, that'll be way more better. I'll get that one cut at the machine shop, and then I'll just use them 2 soots on my friggin' press, and then I'll just have to get more soots. Beg my pardon. Friggin' rights, boys. Couple swats with the grinder, cleaned up nice. Friggin' this corner here's got a little bit of a high spot onto it, so I'll have to keep that in mind. I ground it down a little bit, but it's still kind of high. I'll have to grind that some more, or just keep in mind that that's the top at the back, and don't friggin' put nothing on it and push it. You know what I mean? But other than that, friggin' right. So we got 29.5 by 6 inch. So I'm gonna get them to put a 60-degree friggin' slope on the friggin' edge, and then I square up these ends and maybe put a little trough in here, so as when I weld on my friggin' sliding antler holes, that, you know, I just set them in there, weld them, and they'll be nice and square, and then I can line it up with the friggin' center of the friggin' angle irons and weld in the little stands, but I'll show you that later. This might end up being a 2-part series in accordance to the, you know, I gotta wait for the machine shop to friggin' do that. I don't know if he can do it today or not. It didn't sound too promising on the phone, beg my pardon, but I gotta go pick up hats and go to pig iron. Beg my pardon. So remember, this is friggin' DIY, friggin' 40-ton press brake, friggin' build, friggin' on a budget, right? So I got these friggin' old transmissions all over the place. They got a nice 3/4 inch friggin' axle, so I'll just clean that up a little bit, friggin' lop off the sections that I need, and then we got our friggin' up cigarettes. But so that's not going to cost me anything. And over here all this friggin' steel I've only got $40 into, in accordance to, I'm not, you know, I really shouldn't be telling you my secret, but you know, I will. I went to the scrapyard, of course, and you know, we spent a couple hours digging around, so I grabbed out everything that I needed and I put it beside the truck. And then I waited until friggin' the end of the friggin' day, and they're shutting the doors and this and that, and then I told buddy, oh buddy, I got a couple pieces here, this and that, 40 bucks, blah blah, and he's, oh, this piece here is 25 and that one's 40, and then, you know, and I'm like, oh buddy, blah blah blah, and this, he's like, oh, they're closing the door. I'm like, okay, hurry, and I start loading the shit into the van, and he writes $40 on the thing, and was a bling bling, so friggin' writes. Because usually I say 40, he says 100, and I end up getting it for like 75 or something, you know what I mean? If it's time to go home, he ain't got time to argue, you know what I mean? So he'll just friggin' write her down and beg my pardon for that, but it's just, you know, going to the scrapyard yesterday and discovering some of the upgraded pricing on some of this metals. I'm glad I friggin' stocked up when I did, let me tell you. Beg my pardon. So I gotta go to the machine shop, go to pig iron, pick up the hats, and then we'll come back and we'll measure and cut and fabricate Sean's up this bit. Beg my pardon. Just on our way to Shelley Machines and Marines, beg my pardon, but frig a sack, look at the chooch. Holy dick, that's really chooching. That is just an insane amount of chooch. I love the chooch, but that's too much chooch. Oh, friggin' rights, boys, we made her. Check that out. I brought him a treat, brought him a present. Eh? Friggin' right. Alright, well this is probably going to be the most expensive part of the whole projectile, but it needs to be done. You know, I could just angle grinder the corner off, but, you know, we got to try to make precision equipment here at Pug1 Machine and Marine. Eh, beg my part for that, but so he's going to let me know, you know, hopefully by the end of the day there, but I got to go pick up hats. I gotta go pick up some dirty hats, so friggin' rights. We'll get that done, and then we'll go pig iron. And then we'll teach. So friggin' rights, boys, check this out. Friggin' whole box appliance hats. Yeah, all three sizes. Small, medium, large. Well, it's like small, medium, large, large, extra large. That's how they size them. But check this out. I ran into this guy, Mr. Nice Guy. He's got a, it's not gonna focus. He's got a friggin' head shop in friggin' Sarnia Wallaceburg. So friggin' rates for that, maybe we can do some business. Hey, maybe we'll do some business, beg my pardon. Also, friggin' rates, check out onepugguy.com and get your hats and shit, and you can also check out the flyer and get a more detailed version of it and be able to read what it says in different spots and shit like that. So I beg my pardon, but yeah, onepugguy.com, then we teached. Well, in other words, that was pretty awesome there. I got recognized at pig iron there, and then you know that dick from the Sarnia Sutton video there where I was like, oh, you're gonna be on YouTube. He's like, I'm on YouTube? That guy? I seen him at Walmart. I says, oh buddy, I seen you on YouTube. He says, yes, I am on YouTube, Pug Life. Friggin' right, so he's a big star, so frig yeah. But now I'm gonna go get my hair cut at the place where they fucked up my hair big time last time, but this time I'm gonna tell him, listen, no to fucking up my hair this time, bud. That's what I'm gonna tell him. So we'll see how that works out, but this is getting out of hand. Then we cheached. Well, friggin' my sack, we're back. I got a little banner from VIPEages.com. My hands are all mucky. I don't want to friggin' get into that too much right now, but you'll see it eventually. But darts in the mail. Friggin' love that kind. So let's check this out. Holy shit, got dart ends. Got some different things. Huh, right on. I got like different things and some stuff like that. I don't know what any of this stuff is, but if you want to find out, tune into the THC show tonight and we'll cheat. Beg my pardon. Friggin' rights. Love Babe Bass Thompson. But check this out. Friggin' guy around the corner. I've been working on this for him a little bit. There's two valves in here. They were leaking. Changed those. Well, I had them rebuilt. Guy on eBay does that. Had them rebuilt. Changed those. Okay, that's good. Well, then he's got the Ackerman, right? We got the Ackerman. You can see this friggin' bearing is cigaretted, but even worse is he's let it go so long. I don't know if you can see or not, but the back is all wallered out. So Cub Cadet wants 106 bucks for a new rim. He went down to the Tractor Graveyard, got this rim tire, two of the good bearings. See, it's a good kind of bearings for 20 bucks, the whole thing. And from the dealership, that bearing there, 20 bucks. So it's got 40 buck worth of bearing, probably a good 100 buck worth of rim, $10, $20 worth of tire for $20 from this place. So friggin' rights. But I'm gonna do an oil change on it, change this rim, put that bearing in the other side. He's got a bearing starting to go on there, but he's wallered out the shaft, the axle. It's grooved up the bottom, so I gotta weld that and grind that because you can't find a spindle inwards. They don't. So I'm just going to fix the spindle up with the old welder guy there for him. But anyways, I'll show you what I've done so far with the little project we got going on today. I just, there's the axles from the tractor. I just cut them off and cleaned them up a little bit. And picked up some springs today. And I picked up some, you know, little weld-on cigators. So say in accordance to, get this shit out of the way. So say in accordance to this is the piece of metals that we're using, we'll weld that guy onto there, and then that spring will, you know, go up into the inward position, and then your bending angle, and then this will get, you know, this will be a little bit shorter than this H-beam, so then this peg will weld up on there. But I gotta wait for the machine shop because, like I said, I could grind a friggin' 60-degree angle on there with an angle grinder, but I don't have all year, right? So onward, I'm pretty much just gonna wait until I get the piece back from the machine shop to cut the piece of angle, and then we'll make the piece of angle the same length as the piece of 1 inch that I got, and then we'll cut the friggin' piece of H just about, you know, maybe inch and a half longer than the rest of it, so as we can mount these friggin' uprights on there and cut them and weld them and was bling bling, and then we'll have ourselves a little homemade friggin' 40-ton, almost a full 30-inch press brake. So friggin' rights for that. That'll be more awesome as frig. And I'm thinking I might friggin' try to sell it. Like I'll just put it on Kijiji and friggin' sell it, and if somebody buys it, I'll just build another one. But you might be thinking to yourself, that's a pretty deep cigarette. You're only going to be able to make like 4-inch bends in that. And yeah, pretty much. You know, the minimum friggin' length of a piece you'd be able to stab in that's probably about 4 inches. But if you stack angles in there, right? Say you put another piece of smaller, and another piece of smaller, another piece of smaller, another piece of smaller, you can get her down to friggin', you know, like a 1/2-inch piece of angle in there, and you know, bend a 1-inch piece pretty easily. So friggin' right. So that's just for demonstrations, these purposes, but you see what I mean, just stack angle irons, and then you can friggin', you know, make a tighter bend. You could put a little piece across there, like friggin' wit even. Like if you wanted to pinch that in half, you could set that in there like that, and pinch that in half, and make that into a piece of fucking angle irons, and make it even smaller for friggin' my sack. But, onward. I gotta fix this guy's tractor and have a cheat. So that's just about gonna be it, boys. Apologize for that. But then we cheat. So friggin', don't forget to get your friggin' hats and your decals and your horse and your nonsense off of wampoguy.com in accordance to friggin', I just got a whole big batch of the cocksuckers today, and that's more awesome. Friggin', you love that guy, probably beg my pardon. So in other words, that's at wampoguy.com. So don't forget to like, share, favorite, and movie, because that helps Pug One out big time. Pug One loves that guy big time. But in other words, there you go. Another Dick and Pug One production. So until tomorrow.
Don't let the watchers get you.